The papyrus, put it on my table every month. I don't wanna be sad. Don't even try to hide it. No, I don't wanna lose it. And you see how it is, it's so inviting. The papyrus, we're all so online. The papyrus, put it on my table.
This is the Papyrus magazine, Abuja, and of course we are known for political projects, especially with people in leadership across the country. And you can see what you have before you is your leader there. So we decided to go around because this is a political year, if you look at it, and whether people are inching forward or going backward, we owe a responsibility to the people who follow them to do a review and see where you came from and, of course, where you are. So, like I said before, my name is Matiete, and we would like you to do a proper introduction of yourself.
Okay. You are welcome to my office. My name is Representative Abubakar Hassan Nalaraba. I represent the good people of DOMA, KEANA Federal Constituency. I'm from NASARAWA State, and by the special grace of God, I'm also the Sadaukin Lafia. I'm a title holder in Lafia Emirate Council. Yeah.
So can you speak a little about your family life?
Okay. I happen to come from the family of late Alhaji Hassan Nalaraba from KEANA of blessed memory. He's a businessman, entrepreneur, and a politician, and also a philanthropist. And I am the 11th born of the family. Yes, I'm the 11th born of the family, and I am happily married with kids, and I'm well learned and versatile in politics. I studied economics from Bayero University, Kano. I also went back to same institution, Bayero University, Kano. I did my master's in banking and finance. From there, I happened to get immediate employment with the National State Government under the State Revenue Board, National State Board of Internal Revenue Services, for like 3 to 4 years before joining politics in 2007. I contested House of Assembly 2007. I wasn't successful. I recontested 2011. Then I withdrew my aspiration due to some political maneuvers, and from there we won the election of that year. Governor Makura, my father, my mentor, became the governor under the CPC because we moved out from PDP to CPC. And then 2011, having won the election, Makura appointed me as the Executive Secretary of Muslim Pilgrims Welfare Board in Nasarawa State, a position I held sway for like 8 years. And I contested election in 2019. So from 2012 to 2019, I have been the Executive Secretary of Muslim Pilgrims Welfare Board until after my election, after my primary election, and I won my primary election and equally won the general election, and here I am today as Honorable Member House of Reps representing the good people of DOMA KEANA Federal Constituency of the National Assembly.
Thank you for that. I would like to know what inspired you to go into politics.
My inspiration for politics, I believe, is my attachment with my late father. I was very close to him, and I think he groomed me to become a politician because most times during most of his political meetings as a young child, he take me along. We traveled to Kaduna, Abuja, where he would be having meetings with the late General Shehu Musa Yaradua, Atiku Abubakar, Titila, General Kudiango Abdullahi. So then, as a young man, as a young boy, within that mix, not playing politics actively, but just sitting, watching them discussing politics. So I believe that is where I draw my inspirations from. And then in my days in the university, Bayer University Kano, I also contested the SOG president of Bayer University Kano. I think we are about four then that contested. Myself, Munir, Mahdi, and Lukman. And then fortunately, I was the only one from the economics department that happens to aspire for the exalted position of the state student union government in Kano. Then after that, I think that is my journey so far in politics. So I've been a politician from birth. So I didn't just come and become a politician. I inherited politics, and politics is in my blood, I think, so to say.
Wow. I see that. Can you say about yourself that you had some dreams when you were going into politics, right? Have you achieved anything yet that you really dreamed of?
Basically, when I was going into politics, my major aim of going into politics is to change the narratives, to change how politics is being done, and to equally change, to bring something new in politics. I could remember when I was contesting for House of Assembly, the general adage from our people that this small boy, what does he do? What does he have in stock? What does he have to offer? So, and I kept telling them that no, the younger generations have a lot to offer in political terrain. So they never wanted to give me the opportunity. But Alhamdulillah, after that political dispensation, so many younger men or boys that are much younger than me started cropping out, declaring aspirations on different political positions. So they see me as a motivator, or a motivating factor that made them to aspire to become House of Assembly members, councillors, even chairmen. Initially, when you see a poster of any aspirant, it's someone that is very elderly or a retired civil servant. But in KEANA, that period, I was the youngest. And after that era, so many aspirants that are even much younger than me started copying up, contesting left, right, and center. So that zeal that made me to aspire and to see that I bring the much desired change in the system is what is still carrying me along.
See. So, with the current situation in Nigeria, especially the security situation, what is your take, advice for the situation?
The security challenges bedeviling Nigerian, I believe security is everybody's business, and we need to be watching out for each other. We need to intensify on our surveillance and intelligence gathering within our communities, because when you overlook some certain issues, that is where it will get out of hand. But unfortunately, there is no perfect security anywhere in the world. Even the most advanced countries like the US, France, and Russia, all of them are being faced with their various type of security challenges. So Nigeria is not an exception. And then the present administration, we must give it to them. They've been trying their best. They did everything they could in terms of funding, in terms of supporting the security agencies to tackle the challenge of insecurity in Nigeria. Kudos to the government. And then I must appreciate our security forces, the military in particular, for their hard work, determination, and commitment to have a very safe country that we can all be proud of. So I think we have to give it to them, and we have to encourage them to do more.
Okay, so with the so far how you've got, will you say you want to go further politically? Are you aspiring to do something else this dispensation?
Yeah, no politician of my age or of my caliber will just think of leaving politics at a very early stage. We've just started, and so far so good. Alhamdulillah, barely 2.5 years. We're able to do a lot of things that will have direct impact and bearing to our immediate constituencies and to Nigerians. And then we have attracted so many developmental projects to our constituencies that will stand the test of time. And like the question you asked, what actually inspired me? I said I was inspired to change the whole narrative. Yes, in my 2.5 years of representing my constituents, I've done something that I think is quite commendable. I will not blow my trumpet myself, but then the truth need to be told. When you perform, you know you perform, and when you don't perform, you know you don't perform. So Alhamdulillah, I think I am not the best, and I'm not trying to be the best, but I'm trying to give my best to my constituents.
So I looked at it and I saw that you have a leader who you loved, you admired, your honor. And to be fair to him, when I spoke with him just a few days ago, I have been talking to my colleagues. I'm like, he's such a gentleman. I think I like him, even without meeting him yet, though we have a meeting in future. What did you learn from him?
Like I said, Al Makura is my mentor, my father. He groomed me to be what I am today. He gave me my first opportunity, and he believed in me. I can remember when he wanted to appoint me the executive secretary of Muslim Pilgrims Welfare Board. I was barely 30 something years. I was in my early 30s. When he called me, I said, Abubakar, I'm thinking of giving you a responsibility that I think is very, very big and mighty. To vest that responsibility on your shoulders. Can you handle the Pilgrims Board for me? The first thing that came to my mind, I just laughed and said, Your Excellency, why not? With your support, with your guidance, I think I can handle it perfectly. And considering the fact that my late father was the chairman of NASARAWA State Muslim Pilgrims Welfare Board for like 6 years. He was chairman then in Benue State Muslim Pilgrims Welfare Board for 8 years. So having that experience of being with him and then the workings of Hajj as a body, I think I can be able to handle it. He said, fine, I should just go and be prayerful that he's thinking, but he has not decided. Then, as God will have it, 2 weeks after that conversation, he appointed me the ES, that's the Executive Secretary of Muslim Pilgrims Welfare Board. I happened to work with him for good 8 years. And one thing with Al Makura, if you work with Al Makura, one, you need to be extremely smart and intelligent to work with Al Makura. Two, you need to be extremely patient to work with Al Makura because he's a patient man. Three, you need to know what you are doing. You need to be sound upstairs for you to work with Al Makura. And then Al Makura is someone that if you are not intelligent, you cannot work with him. One, let me give you an example. Al Makura will not act on issue without listening to your own view. And if he seeks any consent or advice from you, not that he wanted to use what you tell him, he has made up his mind, but he's trying to judge your own thinking with his own. If it's in line or in touch with what he's thinking. So in most cases, he will pretend as if he doesn't know what he's doing. He want to hear from you. He has decided. So if you are the type that like to sell your own idea to him, you have failed woefully. You have failed woefully. So that I learned from Al-Makura. Secondly, it's somebody that doesn't want you as a person to play with his intelligence. If he asks you something, tell him what you know, the truth. Once you said the truth, okay, this is what it is and this is how it is. Even if you have interest in it, tell him your interest. You will go perfectly with him. But if you have an interest, you are trying to hide your interest, trying to push everything to him to decide. He knows you have an interest from what you said. If you have opportunity to talk to him, Al-Makura is a good listener. And anybody that listens, you should know that he knows what he's doing. If he allows you to talk before he talks, so just say it as it is. If you try to be political with him, your issue or whatever you're discussing with him is dead on arrival. So these are the little things I am able to learn from him. And then I also learned hard work. I learned hard work from him. Al-Makura always wants the best. He always wants you to give him your best in whatever you are doing. So before you even go to him as a governor, like as the executive secretary, accounting officer, before I present a memo to him, I must make sure that I'm able to defend my memo from A to Z. Any line that I cannot defend, I dare not take it to Al-Makura because he needs detail of whatever he will approve. So that is Al-Makura for you. So I think I have learned a lot from him and he groomed me to be what I am today.
As we narrow down the interview, I'd like to ask, is there any particular project that you have done in your constituency for your people that you think you're proud of? What is it? Can you explain to some?
I have done a lot. I have done a lot, and they are all capital projects that I'm very, very proud of it, and I can hit my chest to say, yes, this is what I've done, and this is the legacy I'm leaving behind, even if I'm leaving the National Assembly. In the 3 local government I happen to be representing, one, I have constructed a 3-kilometer road network in DOMA with a box culvert. In fact, I had to even put in my own personal funds into that project just to ensure that the project is completed with logical completion. And then that road is in the heart of DOMA. That is the economic nerve of DOMA. That is where they call the Nalaraba Road, 3-kilometer asphalt, which I'm so proud that I'm so proud that I was able to construct or to facilitate that road. The road is partially funded by government and then my own personal savings. Then at the moment, there are also community multipurpose halls that I'm constructing in the 3 local governments, Awe, DOMA, and KEANA. The multipurpose hall is at about 70 to 80% completion stage. There's also a slaughter slab abattoir in DOMA. You know, whatever you are doing, you need to think healthy. If you want to eat, you eat healthy. So DOMA is a cosmopolitan town that they don't have a healthy environment to slaughter their cows and to eat healthy meat. So I now felt since and they slaughter meat almost every blessed day. So I choose DOMA to construct that slaughter abattoir in DOMA. And then there are boreholes. I have 30 wards, electoral wards, and we embark on construction of solar boreholes, motorized solar boreholes in all the 30 electoral wards. But there are some wards that we cannot take the solar boreholes there. We decided to do hand pump boreholes for them. So where we embarked on massive borehole construction because there is need for good water in our constituency. They said water is life, water is everything. He who gives water gives life. So I felt to do that, and the boreholes are going to be 50 in numbers because there are some electoral wards that are so large that we need to construct 2 or 3 boreholes within that ward. So we are on it so far. About 25 have been constructed across the electoral wards, while 25 are yet to be constructed. But we hope before the end of June, more will be completed, inshallah. Yeah, before the end of June, more will be completed. And before the end of 4 years, that's next year before election, we'll complete all the 50s and we'll be ready for commissioning, and then they will be put into use. We also constructed classrooms. First, we renovated somewhere there is need to put in the existing structures that are dilapidated. We renovated, we put in structures, furnitures, and then we gave the students school uniforms and bags for them to have a sound educational system and educational environment that will enhance their learning. And then we constructed classrooms in Away. I facilitated about 6 blocks of classrooms by the SDGs, and then there is a community in Bauri, is electoral ward, Bauri. We constructed 3 blocks of classrooms, and we renovated another 3 in that same school. In Ribi, that's in Awe local government in Ribi. We constructed 3 blocks of classrooms in Awe, in Ribi ward. And then in KEANA, there is Giza. We constructed 3 blocks of classrooms again in Giza. We are equally constructing another block of 3 classrooms in Ribi, in DOMA. So all the 3 local governments I'm representing have a touch of projects that are currently ongoing. Some have been completed. And then furthermore, we embark on empowerment programs that will empower the women. There's a program I had last year. I gave out 50,000 naira to over 1,000 market women in my constituency. And Alhamdulillah, what we did was to empower them, to support them, to have more capital at their disposal, to embark on their minor little businesses, to add up to what they have, and then and to God be the glory. There are some positive information coming out, testimonies that some of them were able to make about 3 to 4 to 500,000 from that 50,000 we give them. That is the essence of the empowerment. You support them, they add up to whatever they are doing, and then if they manage it very well, God will bless it, and they will have more and more, so that they will be able to help others to grow in their own different various businesses. These are the little that we have done so far, and more are in the pipeline, inshallah, to be done before the expiration of our tenure, the first term tenure.
Okay, so you've spoken so well so far. I would like to ask, because I've also, like I said, we did a box talk. We talked to people about it, and they say you preach unity and love. So, with the current state of Nigeria right now, we know that we need to talk to ourselves. I will leave that to your judgment. What do you want to say to Nigerians, about being together?
We have no any other country than Nigeria, and we must live in peace with one another. We need each other. Our founding fathers have seen wisdom in bringing the northern and the southern protectorate together to form an entity called Nigeria. And that entity is what we are all benefiting at the moment. One, we need to live in peace. If there is no peace, we cannot even go on our normal businesses. So peace is very paramount. We need to tolerate each other for that peace to reign. Secondly, we need to love one another because we shouldn't allow pettiness to come between us. I call it pettiness. Anything that has to do with religion or ethnicity, to me, is pettiness. In my constituency, in my town, KEANA, there is a family that have both Muslim and Christian together, the same parents. So do you want them to kill themselves? No. So we need to live in harmony. We need to live in peace. We shouldn't allow anything to come between us. We should be religious tolerant. We should be ethnic tolerant because a Hausa man cannot live or survive in Nigeria without an Igbo man, without a Yoruba man. So that is the major being that bound us together. So let's respect our various cultures and then we live in peace.
Is there something else you want to say to Nigerians?
I think that is what they have said. Let's live in peace. Let's be honest to ourselves and then let's watch our neighborhood because never can tell who is in your neighbor that is planning to commit atrocities. When you watch your neighborhood, you watch your immediate environment, you'll be able to inform the law enforcement agencies of any strange moves that will disrupt the peace and unity of your community or of your environment. Be able to arrest it in earnest. So let's be law abiding as well.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.